Hi everyone and welcome back. So this week I'm going to do a progression and really work on what we were doing last week. So it's going to be slightly more challenging, but it still should be fine. I'm going to run you through the whole workout. It's going to be the similar sequence, so it should feel familiar, and I hope you enjoy. So let's start down on the mat. So coming to lie in the relaxation position on your back. Lovely, so just taking a few deep breaths in here. So have the knees bent, feet hip width apart and parallel. Shoulders are nice and relaxed, the head is heavy on your mat. Lengthen your fingertips down towards your heels. You're going to inhale through your nose and exhale, just release and sink a little bit deeper into your mat. Inhale through the nose. And exhale, releasing everything. Take a few more deep breaths here. And we're going to start with our stretch. So on your next inhale, slide the left leg away from you. The right arm will come all the way up above the head, reaching out here, stretching out the hip and the shoulder. Exhale, draw both back in together. Other side, inhale to lengthen, exhale to draw in. Inhale. Lovely, really getting that nice stretch, warming up the body. Point the toes, reach through the fingertips. Lovely, one more to each side. And then we're going to come into our curl up. So float the arm down, clasp the hands behind the head, so interlink the fingers. Make sure that the head is supported in the hands. The elbows are nice and wide, so just so that you can see them. Check that your knees are bent. Inhale and exhale, nod the chin to the chest and then rolling up into that curl up position. Inhale here and exhale to draw back. Okay, inhale to prepare. Exhale, nod the chin to the chest. Rolling up bone by bone just to the tips of the shoulder blades. Legs are soft. Pelvis isn't moving. And rolling back down. Inhale here. Exhale, nod the chin to the chest. Rolling up. Coming up a little bit higher this time. Drawing that tummy in. So from here we're going to come into our obliques now. So we're going to inhale to prepare. Exhale, nod the chin to the chest. Curling on up through the spine, and then we're going to twist so that the right armpits twist around to the left hip, and then come back up through center, and then coming down with control. Make sure the pelvis stays in neutral. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, nod the chin to the chest, coming on up, and then we're going to twist the left armpit around to the right hip. Down. So we're lifting and then twisting. Have a look around that thigh. Keep the elbows nice and wide. Coming down. Nod the chin to the chest. Inhale up. Twist over. Keep the pelvis as still as you can. Coming up a little bit higher. Really twisting. We've got one more to each side. And last one. Lift and twist a little bit higher this time. And then slowly coming down and place your hands onto your mat. Float the right leg up, floating the left leg up. Squeeze the legs together, hands lengthen down towards the bottom of the mat. We're going to tap one toe down, draw it back up, tapping the other toe down, drawing it back up. So these are called our toe taps. Notice that I'm keeping the shape of my leg. My pelvis is in neutral. The movement is coming from the hip. Lovely, we can get a little bit faster now. So tap, 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 tap. Four, three, two, one. Hold them up in that 90 degrees. Squeeze the legs together. Coming into our double toe dips. So we're going to dip both feet down. Exhale to draw back up to center. Inhale to dip down. Exhale to draw up. Notice that I'm not going all the way down, just as far as I can to keep my neutral pelvis. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale to dip. So this is really targeting the lower abdominals. Four more to do. Using the breath, last one. Dipping down and drawing up. Lovely. We're going to inhale the arms up above the head, nod the chin to the chest, and we're going to float the arms up as we come into our curl up position. From here we're going to open the knees, placing the hands on the outside of the calf. So stay up in that curl up position if you can. If this is too much for you, come all the way back to the floor. So we're going to try it in this curled up position. We're going to inhale to lengthen the arms up above the head, exhale to draw back to the beginning. Keep the knees bent, the legs aren't moving. Inhale, exhale to come up a little bit higher. Inhale, exhale. So this is a variation on the double leg stretch. Keeping the body up nice and high, working the tummy hard. We've got four more to do. Keep breathing, exhale around, lift up a little bit more. Take a break at any point. This is your last one, holding it up here nice and high. We're going to extend the left leg, drawing the right leg into you. The right leg places on top of the knee, the left hand places on top of the knee, the right hand on the outside leg, and you draw it in. And we switch, and we switch. Keeping up nice and high, chin tucked to the chest. We've got 4, 3, 2, 1, and then we're going to pull it so that the right leg comes in, lower that left leg down, and then just hug that knee into the chest for a bit of a stretch. Okay, so from here we're going to come into our nice arm stretch. So we're going to pull that leg over the body and roll onto your side like so. So we're just I'm going to shuffle back. So this leg is bent, this arm is out in front of you. Place your right hand on top of your left, and we're going to circle round, eyes looking towards the fingertips, and then coming back. So just getting a really nice stretch here. So circling the arms around. And really make the most of this nice stretch. We'll do one more. reaching fingertips away from you, circling around, and then closing the book. Lovely, we're going to come onto a side line there, so float that arm up above the head, the palm is facing down, have a look at your legs, make sure they're in line with the spine. Keep lifting up from underneath, this hand's just in front for support, resting your head down. We're going into our lifts and lowers, so 8 of these. So we're going to lift and lower, lift, lower. Hold it here, circling back and around for 8. And reverse the circles. So the larger the circles, the harder it is. So keep them nice and small. And the last 2. We're going to flex the foot, pulse up for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift and hold. Now we're going to carry that leg forward. So you can have your, come up if it's a bit uncomfortable for you, rest your head into your hands. Making sure that the hips are stacked. That leg is going to come forward, foot is flexed. Then you're going to point the toes and then squeeze back, 2 little squeezes. So this can be a bit wobbly. So just really hold the tummy in nice and tight. Flex the foot, only go as far as your pelvis will allow you to. So you're not coming all the way up here and the pelvis coming out of the line. So just little movement, little squeeze back, 2 little pulses back. So we're going to come forward and 2, go back, inhale and exhale, inhale, exhale. So don't worry if you're feeling a bit wobbly, I'm feeling a little bit wobbly today. Inhale. We've got 1 more to do. And we're going to hold it up here, flex the foot, take that leg out to a diagonal and sort of rotate the thigh bone in the hips so the toes are pointing down to the floor. From here you're going to dip and squeeze up as high as you can. Dip and lift, dip and lift. Really getting the outside of the bum here. We've got 6 more to do. 4, 3, 2, last one, lift, and then stretch it out and lower it with control. Lovely, patting out the bum here. We're going to roll onto our backs. So coming down onto the backs, onto your back into the relaxation position. And just take a moment here. Legs are bent, feet are parallel. Lengthen your arms down towards your heels. And we're going to come tucking the pelvis, flattening the lower back into the mat, scooping on up bone by bone, up into our spine curl. Make sure the chest is nice and heavy. You can reach your arms up here if you'd like, and then roll all the way back down bone by bone. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, scooping that pelvis. Lifting up bone by bone. Inhale at the top and exhale. Drawing down with control. Lovely. This is really good for your spine. Squeezing the bum at the top. And then roll it in. On your next one, we're going to hold it at the top. So make sure you're coming back into your neutral spine. And then we're going to tuck that pelvis, scooping up, bone by bone. Have a look, make sure that your hips are in line. You're going to lift the arms up above your head, and we're going to go for both heel raises. So lifting and lowering, squeezing the bottom here. We've got 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower down. We're now going to float the hands down And then float your right leg up to 90. Squeeze the bottom. So float and lower. Other leg. Float and lower. So carefully, with control, hopping. Foot back down, squeeze the bottom. Can you lift the hips a little bit higher? Check that you're not rocking over to one side. Harder here would to have the arms up above your head. We've got one more to each side. Last one. And then place the feet together. We're going to squeeze the knees out to the side like a little frog position. And lower, and close. Squeeze and close. Squeeze and close. Lovely. Keep the hips nice and high. 4, 3, 2, last one. Hold it there. Pulse for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift. And then lower the hips down. Lovely. Hug the knees into the chest and have a roll here. Okay, so we're going to come into our roll-ups now. So we did one last week. So we're going to practice a few more today. So have your legs lengthened out in front of you. The arms, squeeze the legs together. And can you remember what I said about the breath? It's so important to do a big exhale. So you're swinging your arms up, nodding the chin to the chest. Exhale all the way up into sitting. So coming up into our starting position with the hands over the head. Squeeze the bottom, squeeze the legs. Inhale, big inhale. Exhale, nod the chin to the chest. Come all the way up into sitting. And when you're here, have a little wriggle and get on top of your sitting bones. Lengthen out nice and tall. Try and draw the shoulders back and down so they're not hunched up by your ears. Lifting up and out of the sitting bones. We're going to tuck the pelvis under now. Nod the chin to the chest and roll all the way back down. Inhale to prepare. Exhale. Nod the chin to the chest. And coming all the way up. So we're going to roll down bone by bone. Inhale. Exhale, nod the chin to the chest. Rolling all the way up. Lifting up and out nice and high. Really reaching up and out of the hips. Curling over. Going down as slowly as you can. So carry on at your own pace. You can add a little stretch over the legs if you want to as well, if that feels good for you. And then come and reset the spine, drawing all the way down, reaching up overhead. Last time, inhale, exhale, nod the chin to the chest, all the way up, lovely. Have a little wriggle on the bottom. Next time, we're going to come into that C-shaped curve, so shoulders back. We're going to tuck the pelvis, coming into that C-shaped curve with the spine. From here, we're just going to twist the arms, sorry, not the arms, we're going to twist the body, the torso, over to the left. Coming back through center, coming over to the right. Back through center. Squeeze the legs together, this is really going to help. Inhale, twist. So the arms are staying still, it's just the body moving. Inhale, twist. Exhale to come back. Inhale to twist. Exhale to come back. Can you go a little bit lower? Drawing the shoulders down, getting even more of a twist. Strong arms. Getting a nice strong core. You've got one more to each side. Twisting over. And the other side. And then slowly coming all the way up. Lengthen it nice and high, bend the knees and just release over the legs. So we're slowly going to roll up and swing your legs around to the other side. So we're going side lying legs on the right hand side. So lengthen all the way down. That arm, palms flat to the floor, hand in front for some support. Keep the hips stacked, the legs are in line with the spine, rest that head on top. And we're going to go with our lifts and lowers. So we're lifting and lower. Drawing the tummy in. Last one, into our circles. Circling back and around, back and around. Keep the tummy held nice and tight, the bottom's working. We've got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reverse, so the circles coming the other way. 4, 3, 2, 1. Flex the foot, we're pulsing up for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, hold it down. This foot's going to come forward, rotate that leg and the hip, dip the toes down to the floor, dip and lift and squeeze, dip, lift and squeeze. So try and keep lifted onto your mat so you're not collapsing there. Dip and lift, squeeze, dip and lift. Really getting the side bum. Again, I've lost my count, so we're going to do 3 more. 2, last one. Draw it all the way back and then pop your head onto your hand for some support if that feels good. We're going to come, send the leg forward, point the toes and 2 little pulses back. Again, this might feel a bit wobbly. 2 little pulses back. So the leg stays at the same height, point the toe, squeeze the leg behind the bottom, tummy held tight. Good, lift, squeeze. The pelvis doesn't move. So it's very controlled and quite a small movement. 2 more to do. So nice breeze. Last one, I think. Squeeze, squeeze, and then lift and lower down with control. Lovely, pad out the bum, bend that top leg, and we're going to send that arm forward. So just a nice stretch with the bum there, hand on top of the other one, and then we're circling it round. And onto the other side, and then back to it. So have a look at your fingertips. Getting that nice stretch. If, like me, you are restricted with space, you can just open up the hand, eyes towards the fingertips. This is called open book. And then close it back down. So you've got 2 variations here. They both work really well. Don't worry if you can't reach the floor. I can't reach the floor on this side. Okay, we're going to do 1 more. Open. And then closing it off. Lovely. We are going to come and lie on our fronts now. Okay, so we're here, lying in the prone position. One hand goes on top of the other, feet are pointed and flat on your mat, resting your forehead down onto your hands. And we're going with our leg lifts. So lift, extend, and lower. So remember what I said last week, extend the leg, then lift, then squeeze with the bottom. We're not going too high, and lower. So extend, lift, and lower. And we're going to take both legs up now. Lift, squeeze, lower. If this is too much, then just take one leg at a time. Pointing the toes, with the squeeze at the bottom. And then we're going to lengthen our arms out to a high V. Rest the forehead down. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, slide your nose away. Look up through the eyebrows like our baby cobra. And our starting position is here. So the chest is lifted, the neck isn't sort of creeped back or anything. It's all in line with the spine. And you're going to lift the opposite arm and leg. So right arm lifts, left leg lifts. So we're going to lift and lower, keeping nice and high. Lift and lower down. Lift, extend and lengthen. If this is too much, just focus on the legs. Make sure that you're not coming up too high. It's just the chest lifting slightly off. Lovely, we've got 4 more to do. Last one on each side. And then lower all the way down, just rest here. Push up into a resting position. So sitting back onto your heels, the knees are nice and wide, and lengthening the arms forward. Resting the forehead onto your mat. And we're going to come up onto our 4-point kneeling position. Okay, so I'm just going to tuck the top in so you can see. So the wrists are directly under the shoulders, the knees are directly under the hips, and you're pushing up and away, so it's very active here. We're going to extend the left leg away from you, extend, and then we're going to lift it up, keeping the hips square, so we're not opening or we're not dropping. It's all very activated and lifted, and then we're going to sweep back into the starting position. Other side, lift, extend, lift, squeeze, lower, and draw in. So the head is in line with the spine. And from here we can add the arms. So the opposite arm and leg extends. Lift, lower, and draw in. Extend, lift, lower, and draw in. Extend, lift. One more to each side. And then we're going to keep the leg where it is, pop the arm down, and you're going to turn to face me, keeping the leg nice and high. Open that arm up to the ceiling, keeping the leg lifted. We're going to do some arm circles here. So stretching and reaching, pushing up and away. If this is too much for you, put the foot down onto the floor for a bit of support. But keep it nice and lifted for our arm circles. Last 2, last 1. And then we're going to turn it back down with control, squeeze it up a little bit higher, and then come back. Other leg extends, lift, extend, turn it around, and then lift up nice and high. Keep the leg lifted as you circle the arms. Last 2. Last 1, and then lovely, swivel round, squeeze up a little bit higher, come all the way up, and then sit back onto your knees, or come into the resting position. So lower that head down to your mat. Lovely. From here, we're going to push up into our 4-point kneeling position. Take the legs nice and wide, have the hands slightly in front of the shoulder, so the wrists in front of the shoulder. And we're going to sit back onto our heels and then bend the elbows and ripple through again. So we're just really stretching out the body, pushing and rippling up through, and really arching over. Good, and then sitting down onto your heels. We're going to reach and take the right hand over the left. I'm getting my lefts and rights mixed up today. Stretching out the body. And then walking the hands over to the right hand side. And really stretching out here. Walking back through center. And then slowly coming up. Okay, so just coming up into standing. We're going to bend the knees, take the arms up, and then shake the hands. Inhale. And exhale. Release. Last time, bend, lifting up, shaking and having a little wiggle. And lovely. Thank you very much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed that, and I'll see you next week.